So Ilhan Omar decided to buck the Democratic Party leadership again. Take a look. In an interview with The Intercept, Representative Ilhan Omar said she does not recognize Juan Guaido as Venezuela's interim president, defying leaders in her party. Guaido has been recognized by the United States and other countries as president in opposition to Nicolas Maduro's regime. So, what do you want to see happen in Venezuela? Do you have a solution, a preferred option of what should happen? The Intercept's Mehdi Hassan asked. Well, the Constitution of Venezuela says that there needs to be an election called within 30 days, and we're waiting for that to happen. What we should be involved in is having diplomatic conversations and bringing people to the table and being a partner in facilitating that, Omar said, adding, we are threatening intervention and sending humanitarian aid that is in the guise of, eventually invading this country, and the people of the country don't want us there. When asked if she recognizes the opposition as the leader, Omar, who sits on the House Foreign Affairs Committee, said, quote, absolutely not. That's the right answer. Yeah, that's the right answer. Still amazing to me how many people on the left are not getting this. The problem in this conversation is the premise. So again, people always jump right to Maduro's bad. Let's talk about Maduro for an hour and a half. No. Rewind. Go right back to the premise and your first principles. Should the United States have the right to willy-nilly, flippantly, nonchalantly declare who's going to be the leader of any nation on the planet? No. If you actually believe in international law, conversation over. That's it. That's the beginning, that's the end. Donald Trump casually fucking tweeted while he was taking a shit that we now recognize this guy as the leader of Venezuela. Whoop-de-frickin-do. Take that tweet and shove it up your ass. I don't care. That's not the way the world works. That's not the way it should work. If you actually believe in international law, if you actually believe in human rights, you go, okay, so then I guess, can the Grand Ayatollah of Iran randomly decide on Twitter, I no longer recognize Trump as president of the U.S., Nancy Pelosi is now president? What would we say if he did that? What would we say? Would we be like, good point, let's move forward? And he has arguments, hey man, listen, this guy didn't even win the most votes. You're telling me the person who got fewer votes ended up winning the election? The fuck is that? Makes no sense. Nancy Pelosi's now the leader. What? We'd be like, piss off. This has nothing to do with you. Who are you? So the same thing's happening. It's just the U.S. doing it in Venezuela. And now, since people in this country have just casually bought into the logic of empire and like the logic of, well, what do you mean? We're the U.S. That doesn't apply to us. But it should. And the way it works on paper is it does apply to us. Now, we ignore it all the fucking time, but we shouldn't. And that doesn't mean it's any less illegal. It just means we have the largest military in the world. And honestly, it's just like that Chappelle Show skit, the Black Bush skit, where he's like, oh, does the UN disagree with me? Well, do me a favor. Sanction me with your army. Oh, that's right, bitch. You don't have an army. We do. Step aside. That's basically the real world response from the U.S. Whenever we bully other countries and they don't agree with us, it's like, really? You're going to take us on? We're just more powerful than you. So, okay, then let's just be honest and say the world that a lot of these people want to live in is might makes right. And we have the most weaponry. We have the most powerful military. So therefore, everybody shut the fuck up. This whole thing about human rights and justice and international law is just a facade. And it's a facade for American exceptionalism. And we get to do whatever the fuck we want. You get to take it. All right, but if you believe in that, then you believe in that. And that's the whole premise that you're buying into when you say we even are in the conversation of deciding who the fuck the leader of Venezuela is going to be. You kidding me? The argument now is the same people who still haven't fixed the fucking water in Flint, Michigan, so they don't care about Americans. These same people deeply care about Venezuelans and should have the right to determine what the government of Venezuela is going to be. Are you kidding me? I mean, it's laughably dumb. So now notice I haven't mentioned Maduro in this conversation because it's not relevant. It's not relevant to the conversation. It's not relevant. Point is the premise. We are not in the position to just determine, yeah, we think this person is the leader of it. The fuck is that? Now that also cuts both ways. If something were to happen, in Venezuela and there would be some serious unrest and some weird shit goes on, and then there's like a coup and fucking Juan Guaido just declares, he's the leader. Am I going to say we need to go in there and fucking militarily topple Juan Guaido and put back in Maduro? No, I just told you it works both ways. In any situation, we have no business in that country. We shouldn't be in that country, especially with our fucking record of what we've done in particularly that region of the world. Again, the same people, Elliot Abrams, who's now in charge of this, who sent fake aid in the 80s to try to topple governments by sending weapons. Now we're all supposed to believe, like, oh no, he actually cares about peace and he's just sending aid. What do you mean? No, it's a PR stunt. It's the international community that says it's a PR stunt. It's not me. It's the fucking Red Cross. So are they the ones who are lying? No, they've said all along, Maduro and Venezuela, they are letting in aid. It's just when it's the U.S. and it's in bad faith and it's a ploy for regime change, that's when they say no, but it's for all the international aid they're letting in. So, listen, this is the correct answer. The correct answer is no, absolutely not. Do we just randomly recognize a different leader of a foreign country? No, let them take care of their own fucking business, okay? That's the right answer. That's the right answer without question. Now, watch how many fucking idiots in the Democratic Party will go after her for this. 100% there's going to be people, oh my God, how can you say that? Why would you say that? You're disagreeing with leadership. You can't speak out against leadership like that. How could you? Oh my God, why are you defending Maduro? Why are you backing an evil dictator? Why are you in favor of the suffering of the Venezuelan people? There will be a litany of shitty arguments and straw man arguments and fucking nonsense just vomited onto her after she made it the most normal, casual, correct point in human history. So if you can't tell, I'm a little sick of this. Why are we even talking about Venezuela? Why are we even talking about Venezuela? What the fuck does that have to do with us? It's like if tomorrow all of a sudden they started itching for regime change in fucking Myanmar. I mean, they have the evidence to say they're fucking doing a genocide of Rohingya Muslims. Like, they're a vicious, brutal government. If they started ramping up the propaganda, like, oh, we gotta go topple the government, blah, 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 all these fucking idiots would just go right, oh, it's like they manufacturing consent. As soon as the corporate media says anything, go, Myanmar, bad. Let's fucking talk about that for 8 hours and about how us, the saviors of the world, have to go save them. We're not that. 73% of the world's dictatorships we back. We're best friends with Saudi freaking Arabia, one of the worst governments in the world who spread Wahhabism all across this fucking globe. And you still buy into the premise that maybe we're helping people for good reason. How dumb are you? Oh my God. Oh my God. Ilhan Omar, you're right. Don't backpedal even a little bit. The bowels of hell are about to be opened up on you from other Democrats and Democratic leadership and idiot talking heads in the media. Ignore them. They're wrong. You're right. That has nothing to do with us. And when we have the conversation, like it does have something to do with us, you're immediately buying into the logic of empire and that we're above international law and we get to determine stuff for other countries. We don't.